Hormones are chemical messengers that are produced by glands in the endocrine system and are secreted into the bloodstream. They play a vital role in regulating many physiological processes in the body, including growth and development, metabolism, mood, and reproduction. There are many different types of hormones, including peptide hormones, steroid hormones, amino acid-derived hormones, fatty acid-derived hormones, neurohormones, cytokines, growth factors. Peptide hormones are a type of hormone made up of short chains of amino acids. They are produced by various glands and tissues in the body and play a key role in regulating a wide range of physiological processes. Peptide hormones function by binding to receptors on the surface of target cells, triggering a series of biochemical reactions that ultimately lead to a specific physiological response. Some examples of peptide hormones and their functions include insulin, produced by the pancreas. Insulin helps regulate glucose metabolism by promoting the uptake of glucose by cells in the body. Growth hormone, produced by the pituitary gland. Growth hormone stimulates growth and development in children and plays a role in maintaining bone and muscle mass in adults. Follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, produced by the pituitary gland. FSH regulates reproductive function in both males and females by stimulating the growth and maturation of ovarian follicles in females and the production of sperm in males. Thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH, produced by the pituitary gland. TSH stimulates the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormones, which regulate metabolism and other physiological processes in the body. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, produced by the pituitary gland. ACTH stimulates the adrenal gland to produce cortisol, a hormone that helps regulate stress response and other physiological processes in the body. Steroid hormones are a type of hormone that are derived from cholesterol. They are lipid-soluble and can easily cross cell membranes, allowing them to bind to receptors inside cells and regulate gene expression. Steroid hormones are produced by various glands and tissues in the body, including the adrenal gland, ovaries, and testes. Some examples of steroid hormones and their functions include testosterone, produced by the testes in males and to a lesser extent by the ovaries in females. Testosterone plays a critical role in the development of male secondary sexual characteristics and regulates the production of sperm. Estrogen, produced by the ovaries in females and to a lesser extent by the adrenal gland in both males and females. Estrogen plays a critical role in the development of female secondary sexual characteristics and regulates the menstrual cycle. Cortisol, produced by the adrenal gland. Cortisol plays a key role in regulating the stress response and maintaining blood sugar levels. Aldosterone, also produced by the adrenal gland. Aldosterone helps regulate salt and water balance in the body. Amino acid-derived hormones are a type of hormone that are synthesized from amino acids. They are involved in regulating a variety of physiological processes, including metabolism, growth and development, and stress response. Two important amino acid-derived hormones are thyroid hormones and catecholamines. Thyroid hormones are produced by the thyroid gland and are involved in regulating metabolism and growth and development. They increase metabolic rate, stimulate protein synthesis, and promote growth and development in children. Catecholamines are produced by the adrenal gland and include epinephrine, adrenaline, and norepinephrine, noradrenaline. They play a key role in the stress response, increasing heart rate and blood pressure, and preparing the body for fight or flight responses. Amino acid-derived hormones are typically water-soluble and bind to receptors on the surface of cells. They are involved in the regulation of a wide range of physiological processes, including cardiovascular function, metabolism, and stress response. Fatty acid-derived hormones are a type of hormone that are derived from lipids, specifically from fatty acids. They are involved in regulating a variety of physiological processes, including metabolism, inflammation, and blood pressure. One important example of a fatty acid-derived hormone is prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are produced by a wide range of cells in the body and play a role in regulating inflammation, blood flow, and blood clotting. They are also involved in regulating the menstrual cycle and in the development of labor contractions during childbirth. Fatty acid-derived hormones are typically lipid-soluble and can easily cross cell membranes. They bind to receptors inside cells and regulate gene expression, ultimately leading to changes in physiological processes. In addition to prostaglandins, other examples of fatty acid-derived hormones include leukotrienes and thromboxanes. Overall, Fatty acid-derived hormones play a critical role in maintaining the body's internal environment and regulating various physiological processes, including inflammation, blood flow, and blood pressure. Neurohormones are a type of hormone that are produced and released by neurons in the brain and other parts of the nervous system. They are involved in regulating a variety of physiological processes, including stress response, growth and development, and reproductive function. Examples of neurohormones include oxytocin and vasopressin, which are produced by neurons in the hypothalamus and released into the bloodstream from the posterior pituitary gland. Oxytocin plays a role in regulating social behavior, including bonding between mothers and infants, while vasopressin is involved in regulating water balance and blood pressure. Another example of a neurohormone is adrenaline, epinephrine, which is produced by the adrenal gland and released into the bloodstream in response to stress or danger. Adrenaline increases heart rate and blood pressure, preparing the body for fight or flight responses. Neurohormones are typically released in response to specific stimuli, such as stress or changes in environmental conditions. They act on target cells by binding to receptors on the surface of cells or inside cells, triggering a series of biochemical reactions that ultimately lead to a specific physiological response. Cytokines are a type of signaling molecule that are produced by various cells in the immune system and other tissues. They play a critical role in regulating the immune response, inflammation, and hematopoiesis, the formation of blood cells. Cytokines act by binding to specific receptors on the surface of target cells, triggering a series of biochemical reactions that ultimately lead to changes in cellular behavior. Depending on the cytokine and the context in which it is produced, it can have a wide range of effects on different types of cells. Some examples of cytokines and their functions include interleukins. Interleukins are a group of cytokines that are involved in regulating the immune response. They are produced by various cells in the immune system and act on other immune cells to promote cell growth, differentiation, and activation. Tumor necrosis factor, TNF. TNF is a cytokine that is involved in regulating inflammation. It is produced by various cells in the immune system and can promote inflammation by activating immune cells and increasing blood vessel permeability. Interferons. Interferons are a group of cytokines that are produced by various cells in response to viral infections. They can activate immune cells and promote the production of antiviral proteins. Colony-stimulating factors. Colony-stimulating factors are cytokines that are involved in regulating hematopoiesis. They can stimulate the production and differentiation of various types of blood cells. Growth factors are a type of signaling molecule that are involved in regulating cell growth, differentiation, and survival. They play a critical role in development and tissue repair, and are also involved in various physiological processes such as wound healing, immune response, and angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels. Growth factors act by binding to specific receptors on the surface of target cells, triggering a series of biochemical reactions that ultimately lead to changes in cellular behavior. Depending on the growth factor and the context in which it is produced, it can have a wide range of effects on different types of cells. Examples of growth factors and their functions include epidermal growth factor, EGF. EGF is a growth factor that is involved in regulating cell growth and differentiation in the skin and other tissues. It promotes cell division and migration, and is involved in wound healing and tissue repair. Platelet-derived growth factor, PDGF. PDGF is a growth factor that is produced by platelets and other cells in response to tissue injury. It stimulates cell proliferation and migration, and is involved in wound healing and tissue repair. Vascular endothelial growth factor, VEGF. VEGF is a growth factor that is involved in angiogenesis, or the formation of new blood vessels. It stimulates the proliferation and migration of endothelial cells, which form the lining of blood vessels. Insulin-like growth factor, IGF. IGF is a growth factor that is involved in regulating cell growth and differentiation in various tissues, including bone and muscle. It promotes cell division and differentiation, and is involved in tissue repair and growth. Hormones have a wide range of functions in the body. Some of the key functions of hormones include regulation of growth and development. Hormones play a crucial role in the regulation of growth and development in the body. For example, growth hormone produced by the pituitary gland stimulates the growth of bones and muscles. Metabolism regulation. Hormones such as insulin, glucagon, and thyroid hormones regulate metabolism, including the use of glucose and other nutrients by cells in the body. Reproduction. Hormones play an important role in reproduction, including the development of secondary sex characteristics and regulation of the menstrual cycle in females. Stress response. Hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol are involved in the body's response to stress, including the fight-or-flight response. Regulation of electrolyte balance. Hormones such as aldosterone and antidiuretic hormone, ADH, help to regulate the balance of electrolytes in the body, including sodium, potassium, and water. Immune system regulation. Hormones such as thymosin and cytokines are involved in the regulation of the immune system. Mood regulation. Hormones such as serotonin and dopamine are involved in the regulation of mood, emotions, and behavior.